So whenever we're ready, we can go. Okay, I see that we're
Okay.
live. Okay, let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I am Sean Williams, aka the President, and you're listening to the Safe Room, a safe space for entrepreneurs, business owners, all sorts to share their personal and professional stories here on the platform. And today we have a wonderful guest. This person, I mean, what can I say? Listen, we've had a lot of business side conversations. We had a lot of entrepreneurship side of things. I want to bring a little bit of the arts into the safe room today, and I feel like this is the perfect person to do so. She is a Kingston-based multidisciplinary artist with a passion for creation, dance, and photography. Again, creation, dance, photography. What a triple threat! What a triple threat! And there's even speak a little bit more on the dance side of things. She has, over the years, she's had the opportunity to train in a variety of settings that's allowed her to develop her skills in multiple dance styles, including hip hop, dance hall, Afrofusion, modern, urban contemporary. Like, should I keep going? I feel like the list is just nonstop, on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only, the wonderful Shanique. Shanique, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm amazing after that intro. Thank you for having me, Sean.
Of course, of course. I'm glad to have you here. I mean, like I said, I think it's time to give some love to some of the artists and the musicians out there. I know we usually keep the conversations to just like entrepreneurs and business owners. I'm trying to change it. I want to expand the safe from a little bit more. So I'm glad that you're here for the conversation. We're going to talk about, some of the stuff that you've done in your personal journey, talk a little bit more on the candid creative and what does that mean. You hope you can go
hmm
into more detail to that. But I'm really glad you're here on the show.
Me too. I feel like this year has just been me kind of like exploring what being a multidisciplinary artist means to me. I feel like I've been an interdisciplinary artist and I've only focused on like one or two things throughout my life. So I feel like I've gotten the opportunity to just kind of explode this year and, just throw things around, see what sticks, see what I like, and see if I want to continue diving even more into it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's nothing wrong with just taking a risk on something. Sometimes you need to take that risk. If you don't take that risk, that you may not know if it's the right path for you. So,
It's so true. It's so true. And you never know as well. Like, I took a class recently and this teacher said, you never know who's waiting to like love you or like love on you and stuff. And it's so true. Like every opportunity and every experience you have truly does either prepare you or propel you into the next thing or room or, people like where you're supposed to be. So it's definitely been that kind of journey for me.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so like I mentioned, we're going to talk a lot about your personal journey, what the candid creatives means, how that all got started. But before we do that, we have to start with our opening segment, ladies and gentlemen. We have to start off with the hot seat. Now, I know it might sound like a very intimidating name, but I promise you it's probably the chillest seat that you'll ever be in. So all you have to do, Shanique, is answer 4 questions based on your best abilities, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, okay. So the first question I have here, so outside the work that you do, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
In one sentence. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'd say your friendly neighborhood palazzo pants, mother of cats and plants, local artist. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Honestly, that is probably the most unique answer you have ever given.
I think so. That one
Yeah.
that one took some heart in there. I don't know if you felt the passion. Yeah.
I love that because like I've had lots of people come on and they'll probably say something like, "Oh, like I'm a fun and loving person," or like I'm someone that's like, I'm a jack of all trades. But you were like, I'm gonna give like this one
Mhm.
memorable line. It's like your friendly neighborhood. I'm at this and that. You know, a little splash of this. I love that.
As you should. You know what? You gotta keep them guessing. What is she doing next? I don't know. I don't know.
I love that. I love that. Okay, okay. Let's go on to the next question. I feel like it might be a spicy one for you. I mean, who knows? It
Okay.
really depends. But in your opinion, what would you say is the most underrated and most overrated dance genre in terms of
Mm.
difficulty. In terms of like difficulty, what's the most underrated and the most overrated dance genre?
Wow, that's a great question. Okay. I feel like this year specifically, I have been kind of on a like, let me take a new dance style that I've never taken before. And I have, does it have to be one? Or can I give
It,
more than
it could
one?
be a couple if you want to share.
Okay, because these three I've been taking this year, and when I say that my butt has been kicked, it's been kicked. Yeah. First of all, salsa. Okay. She hard. I feel like people just think, they're looking great, they're looking passive. Actually, a lot of things are going down, and a lot of history and context and language that comes with it. Even like social dance too, you have to actually already know what to do to be able to like social dance and just like throw it out on the dance floor. So that's been kicking my butt. I've been so happy to be learning. I've been like learning since July, I want to say, and I'm going to continue to learn. But wow, like I did not expect for it to be as hard as it was. Like I knew it was going to be hard, but my Latino brothers and sisters, okay, I'm giving you all the props. Thank you. The second and third, I'm going to say voguing and whacking because I've also been on that journey as of late. And she hard. She hard as well. I will one day be able to just dip, give a little death drop, a whack into a pirouette and dip. One day, I'm going to make it. It's going to be effortless. I'm going to duck walk into success, and I see that happening for me. But as of right now, she does look like she's struggling on the dance floor, and that's okay. That's okay. They're hard. They're very hard styles. Again, so much history and context and language that also embodies the dance style too. And I think the three styles people see and they're like, oh wow, these look fun to do. Or like I saw it in a movie, like let me try. But actually every single one of them has their own technique.
Mm,
And it's not something you just throw yourself into and like learn. Like each one of those classes, the teachers were literally like
yeah, yeah. With the 5, 6, 7, 8.
I love that. Oh my god, each one of those dance styles, no, I like each one of the teachers were like, yeah, like this is a journey, like it will take years to get and to understand, and have stopped to like be able to share some of the wisdom and education with me as well, as I've been learning. But those three have been kicking my butt, and I'm like a beginner again in those classes, which is a weird feeling. But
Mm.
I embrace the change and like the growth and who I'll be on the other side of all of that. So yeah, those would be my top three right now.
Okay, okay. So, all right. So there isn't really anything that's like, okay, it's underrated. It's more of like, there's some dance genres like or dance styles like
Yeah.
I'm cool with, but these three like are the ones that are just
Hmm.
like it's kicking your butt right now, you know?
But what I say though, that's the overrated. It's underrated because I feel like people just like see a movie and then they're like, "Oh, I can do that," and like that's why I say that because that's actually not the
Mm.
case, and you will injure yourself if you just like throw yourself in there. So I'm like, it's overrated and it's underrated, and I feel like it needs more respect in other rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. And like you mentioned one thing, how about with these different dance genres or dance styles, the language and like so I even heard you say like I want to learn how to like, duck whack or the dead drop and everything like that. I find this very interesting because again, I feel like probably for the audience listening tonight, they don't even know exactly what you're saying. But I feel like the kind of looking at the correlation of like business and dance, like there's certain terminology used in business that some people may not understand. And maybe, for your aspect, you'll say things in dance terms and people don't understand. I
Hmm.
think hearing this, hopefully, I want to get a little bit deeper into that. Hopefully, you can teach some words to some of the audience out here tonight and we just understand, like, how those terminology is very common within the dance industry, like in the dance realm, So that's why, again, I want to get you on because I feel like you can provide another side of a whole different like industry, different like atmosphere, which I think is good.
Mm. No, thank you for saying that. I've just like started my teaching journey again at the Kingston School of Dance. So one thing I have been striving to like bring to studio culture is like making space to have those conversations, like stopping to watch videos and reflecting and talking about what we just watched and like taking those questions home as homework and just like taking a moment to reflect. So yeah, I definitely am I think what makes me a teacher is that I'm also a student and I'm constantly learning and trying to put myself in those positions to learn. So I definitely don't know everything and I'm on my own journey, but for sure, like what I can impart today, I will.
I love that. I love that. Okay, going on to the next question for this hot seat segment. I want you to tell us an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know if this is something I rarely share because I feel like I'm a professional blabber. I'm a professional rambler and I will tell you the business. But the tea is I am a twin. Okay? I'm a fraternal twin. My
Oh,
sister is my twin. We girls. The tea.
mhm.
I have twin brothers. We are 16 years apart. They're boys, they're identical, and we're literally like the complete opposite, but also like the same. And it's so insane. And twins, we run in the family, and everyone says you're gonna have twin grandbabies, and I say, twin grandbabies, yes. Twin children, let's leave that for the next line. Thank you. Yeah,
Mm, okay,
yeah,
interesting. Honestly,
yeah.
you're probably wondering, guys, like, aren't you shocked? Well, I would be, but I mean, Shanique and I, like, we we
We
we
go
we we
back.
dare, we dare.
We
So I mean,
do.
like, I mean, for me, it's not shocking news. It's like, oh, it's like I should have played it off. Be like, oh my goodness, I did not know that. Nah, I should have.
Can I also add to that? Because so Sean is a twin, and his twin is named Chanel, and I love that woman with my whole heart. And when we talk, I think it's so funny because we just like talk about the six of us as like one unit now, and we like combine our last names as if we are one family. But I think it's so funny because they also just recently had a birthday, and our birthday is exactly a month apart. Like we are both
Yeah.
born on the 24th of the months that we are in. So I'm just, and we both start with SH names. And I was just like, I feel like this is kind of crazy that we didn't meet sooner, to be honest. I fear you guys are stuck with me for life.
Well,
And
I mean,
that's the end of my
It
sentence.
it it's
Yeah.
it's it's all good, yeah, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, yeah, my birthday, Chanel and I's birthday was last week, so that's why there wasn't any, like, live
Happy
conversation.
birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it. I see Chanel going crazy in the comments, literally, Williamson Pert, like, what are we doing?
That is, yeah, that is the name.
Oh
That's
my
actually the name of our group chat. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
so, guys, like, you probably learned a lot of different facts, actually, bro, just for between myself and, Shanique, so there you have it, okay.
There you have it.
Let's go
Yeah.
on to the final question for this hot seat segment. So, what is your personal safe room? So, what's a safe space? It could be physical, it could be
Ooh.
mental, that allows you to be your authentic self.
Okay, my safe space. I think they're interchangeable. My physical space safe, my physical safe space, would just be like anytime I'm out in nature. Like I just feel as though I am able to just be like grounded and at peace with myself and my emotions. And it just reminds me that we are surrounded by so many beautiful things and we get to exist in this time at the same time as that, but also in the stillness and in like the beauty of just being outside and like hearing the wind and like the rustling of the trees and the water and like seeing all these other ecosystems that flourish. It just like reminds me of like how good God is, and how amazing he is to like create all of this and think about the narrative that like each individual living thing would be able to like have the opportunity to experience. So God and
Mhm.
nature always intertwine for me, and it's a safe space. If I'm overwhelmed, if I'm happy, if I just like need a second to just pause and regroup and just refresh, I'll go by myself or I'll take some of my loved ones and we will find the nearest hike or conservation area or campsite, anything, and we'll just go for a walk and just talk and breathe and live and just like, yeah.
I love that, and I mean, I think even sometimes, like, I can see that kind of intertwining into the work that you do right now. Again, we're gonna get into it a little bit deeper. But I mean, like, I can definitely see the nature aspect, and just how, again, with that and like your relationship with God, how it again comes together. It's like they can't be like separated. So I love that.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a lot of us, again, when we think of nature, sometimes it's like, well, do we have time for that? But honestly, sometimes nature can be like, it can be very refreshing, whether it's just going out
Yeah.
for a walk. And I know I mentioned before that you're in Kingston right now. So I can only imagine
Mhm.
like just the amount of like open space there where you can just
Yeah.
go out and walk.
It's so refreshing. Like, we used to live near this like trail when we were living in Toronto or Etobicoke, and it was so great just to be able to like just walk there as opposed to having to take the bus to like High Park or something. And we're really grateful for that, but there's so many more opportunities. Like, I live downtown right now, and like the closest, like, I could walk, I think, 2 or 3 directions, any direction, and in 15 to 20 minutes, like, I'd be by Lake Ontario, like, that quickly. So I'm so grateful because it's definitely one of the things that help, like, regulate my nervous system as well. And I think it's underrated. Like, it is a free way to just kind of, like, reduce cortisol and regulate your nervous
Mm.
system and mental health, truly. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, well, those are all the questions for the hot seat segment. I think you did a fantastic job with the
Thank you.
answers. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the main questions for people who are just tuning in right now. You're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with our guest Shanique, who is the founder of the Candid Creative Collective. We're gonna talk a little bit more into that. Just what does that represent? How you got started. So I say let's get right into it. So Shanique, I definitely been keeping an eye on you on IG, some of the stuff that you were doing, and I thought like eventually she's gonna be on the show. I don't know when, but like
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
was it was gonna happen. And I've seen you evolve over the last couple of years, which is great to see. And then I remember it was like one day, like I think it was on Instagram, and then I see the Candid Creator. I was like, hold on, like what is this? Like what is she be cooking? Like what is she got on the stove here? So I mean,
Yeah.
like I see a Drew collab, keep the combo rolling. Yeah, you'll love to see it. I mean, for the people who probably don't know, could you break down how did the Candid Creative Collective got
Yeah.
started, and just your experience in photography? Because I know that has to play like a huge role
Yes.
into it.
Mhm. Yeah, so the Candid Creative Co. Essentially is me like rebranding my photography. I started doing photography more professionally in a sense in 2019. So right before the pandemic. So you can imagine how my even photography journey has had kind of an unorthodox path and how I've gotten here. This year specifically, I have decided to rebrand. And so the Candid Creative Co. is a dream that's turned into a company. So my goal with rebranding my photography was to be able to highlight all of my artistic practices, as well as give them a home. Because again, I mostly identified as an interdisciplinary artist before 2024, primarily intertwining dance and photography, like very specifically, or performance and photography even. But this year, I've had the opportunity to kind of explore and do music, theater, education. I've been able to direct and produce some of my own projects as well as hop on board to other people's as well, taking part in music videos and just like overall just burst into all of these different new mediums and also just like see what they would look like together as well. And so I felt because I was so busy and because I was hustling and doing all this stuff, I didn't keep everything updated. Like, I didn't keep any physical like here's what I did, because by the time you get home from a 12-hour day of filming, like, you're not thinking let me post on Instagram and like keep the people updated. So as much as I'm blessed to be able to say I could be a part of these projects, I did want to shed light on these things in a very clear way, whether I was involved as the photographer, whether I was involved as a performer or just admin. I wanted to kind of be like, here's what I'm doing, here are the things I'm a part of, here's things you can support. Here are upcoming events that I'm doing. And I feel now I can say I do, wear many hats within the art scene here in Kingston. So I thought it would be time to be more candid about my work and just my overall artistic journey.
Yeah, I love that. You're kind of like a jack of all trades. It's like you have everything just locked down. And I love how you had that, point to say, I need to rebrand and make sure everything kind of
Mm-hmm.
fits. Everything is very concise, which I feel like, I know I mentioned but at the beginning that, this wasn't really for just like entrepreneurs and business owners, but I want to kind of expand and get other people on the show like yourself being a multidisciplinary artist. But there's even little aspects of like that entrepreneurial life where you have to kind of pivot and rebrand, make
Yeah.
sure that you figure out, okay, who's this for? Like, what's my target audience? How am I going to be able to get those clients? How am I going to make
Mm-hmm.
like the final sale or whatever that case may be? So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it definitely comes a lot into that. And I can only imagine, like, is it just yourself? Like, you don't have any other assistants with you?
No, not right now. I did plan to like have a team, and I was in the process of making one. And then, what had happened? I basically did two residencies this summer, but it was like a mix of two residencies. Like this festival I was performing at, I was also on the board, and it was just like 2 months of straight art. And I did not expect to be as busy as I did, so had to put a pin on it. And half of the year for 2 quarters has just been like prepping, taking courses, partnering with Ogatawa. They have like a artist entrepreneur certificate program that's funded by TD, I believe. So taking part in that and just kind of like soaking up as much knowledge. Because I find as artists, we're always working towards a goal, but as entrepreneurs, they work backwards. So yeah, that's something I had noticed during this year, and I was like, okay, artists definitely like have all these babies and projects they want to start, and then I know I'm one of those people too, and I don't want to start all these things and then get lost in the sauce and then have to like be like, okay, can't do this anymore because of ABC. So it's just been kind of like prepping, moving. We're giving like the tortoise, not the hare. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just trying to get all the ducks in a row because yeah, I think it's important, and you want to like prepare for when you like get to those checkpoints, not necessarily the end goal. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like everything you're saying, like I can testify to. Like when I got started with the safe room, I mean, I had so much other ideas like I wanted to do. I wanted to do more projects. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
host live events. Like that's something I still want to do, but I ran into
Yeah.
that same trouble where I thought I'm putting all my eggs in a basket too quickly. And it's just like if
Mm-hmm.
you it's kind of like if everyone gets in the pool, like no one's really enjoying themselves. It's just like it's just too much
Yeah.
going on. And like I had to realize, okay, I need to back up. And I think that's where I
Mm-hmm.
started to step into that entrepreneurial type of side where it's like, okay, I know I can't do this now. I'm gonna put it on the back burner because eventually it will happen, but I'm gonna make sure that I get everything lined up. And I mean, there were
Yeah.
things that just kind of happened the way I want it to be, and there was things that happened that I didn't expect. So I mean, that's things that you kind of learn. So I know for even hearing yourself being a multidisciplinary artist, but understanding like, okay, I can't just throw everything on a wall and
Yeah.
hope it sticks. I gotta like I gotta pace myself.
You want it to stick, you know? Yeah. No, I definitely was there. Like I had a summer, I think it was last summer or the summer before. I call it my first artist summer. But I basically had like just graduated from this program, and like when I say it was like June 30th I was done the program, June 1st I was doing art stuff, and the whole summer I was just like shooting events. I was taking part in like performances. Like it was just like boom, 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 thing after thing, and it was so like my heart was just so full because it was the first time I was like, oh, like if I actually put my mind to this, I could do this. Like if I wanted to, I really could. And before that, it's like, you tell yourself like you have all these things that you have to get done before you can like be qualified to do something, and it's really like not the case. Sometimes you just have to start and just figure it out on the way. And I was really like I had one of those moments where I was like, oh, I could just start and figure it out on the way. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna do it, and like any opportunity I feel that aligns with my goals and what I want to do in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, like 20, 30 years, I'm just going to say yes because it's going to get me into the next thing, even if I don't see these people again for a year and they just randomly think about me one day and boom, now I'm like back in a room somewhere. I'm like, I'm just going to say yes, but only to the things that align with what I actually want to do. And like, remember, when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something automatically, and vice versa. When you're saying no to something, you're opening up yourself to say yes to something else. So it had to very much switch the mindset first, because nothing will happen. Even if you have the resources and like the opportunities and the people lined up, nothing will happen if your mindset isn't there yet. And now this year is like getting the resources. So definitely slow going. We're making calculated throwing at the wall and things will stick. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chanel saying, remember me when y'all are rich. You're getting rich too, okay?
I'm
Let's not act
actually
like you're
moving
not
into
for the
your
cash.
mansion, Chanel.
For
So
real.
let's
Like,
back
let's
that up. Thank
guys, if
you.
I could probably spend an entire conversation telling just bigging on my sister. So I mean, like,
Yeah, me
she's the real
too.
deal.
I'm co-hosting for that. Yeah.
All right, all right. Yeah. So just to add a little follow up question. So you did kind of go into detail just how the Candid Creative got started, and I mentioned photography. Maybe go a
Hmm.
little bit deeper in terms of like what other services you try to offer. Like, is it just
Yeah.
photography? Is there other things you're looking to incorporate, or you already have established?
Yeah, so primarily I used to just do like portraits and performance. But now I'm doing portraits, performance, like lifestyle, and then I'm also doing events. I'm doing events as well as like movement and performance. So film, theater, like documentary residencies, like behind the scenes. Um yeah, and just like a whole bunch of stuff. So primarily my art does capture like more artist journeys, I would say. But I do like lifestyle kind of on the side. If I had to say anything, it's definitely something I'm passionate about because it's what got me started. But I definitely don't do as much as I would like to. And then the second half of the question, what was it again?
Yeah, just like I mean, you kind of did answer it a bit, like just going a little bit
Okay.
deeper. So I mean, like that's like I did want to know a little bit more because again, for some people who might be like knowing about you for the first time, I just want them to get very familiar
Yeah.
some of the services you have. That's what we're all about on the show. We want to let people, who come on to like really pitch themselves, like a pitch contest, and we just like tell us what you do.
No, I love that. What do you
All
do? Who
right.
are you?
Yeah,
Period.
exactly. It's like the basic stuff, that you're always accustomed to hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Well, going on to the next question. How do you explore your artistic qualities through your brand and also in your spare time? Now, you kind of did go into a little bit deeper, but I do want to touch a little bit more on
Yeah.
the fact that you mentioned, like, again, you do dancing as well. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen lots of photographers, but I don't see a lot of photographers who also is like they're full time dancing as well. Like they'll always say like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a photographer, and then like I used to dance like back in the day, but I don't do that anymore. But like you're one of the
Yeah.
few people that's like, nah, like this is
I'm in it.
24/7. I'm in it. I'm in the
This is
thick
my
of
love.
it.
I'm true to this, not new to this. Oh,
Exactly. So I mean, like, do you try to like take some of those parts of you, that
oh,
makes you like extra
absolutely.
special and try to like integrate it into your brand, but also in your spare
Mhm.
time as well?
Yeah, like there was a time that I almost stopped dancing. And that's definitely when I picked up the camera more often, but I just kept coming back to like dance and performance in some capacity, whether it was me performing or I was like helping choreograph. Um Chanel, I literally love you. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I think my dance first and foremost is what influences all of my other artistic journeys altogether. It's probably the first real art form I picked up when I was like a child, and I started self-trained, so there was a lot more emphasis on connecting to dance as art and as a safe room, almost, as you could say, instead of just like studio culture or like dance, like competitive dance and that kind of stuff. So I do a lot of freestyle and like improv on my own time, and that is probably the most purest and like most authentic form of art that I personally produce, because it's, you don't have time to like polish it, you know? It's just whatever comes out, and you are directly listening to what the music is telling you and then doing that. There's like no time to just like throw in here and there. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes you're like, wow, that was a really weird shape and I'll never do that again, and no one can ever see that. But at the same time, like, you know, that's not something you can duplicate. You know, it can be a part of your choreography. It can just kind of like, again, just be an opportunity to like regulate your nervous system, and just like self-regulate, self-soothe, whether you're feeling joy or whether you're feeling maybe a little sadness. But it's something that is an immediate response to music, which is a whole another like ballpark and pillar, honestly, to hip hop culture, which is again something that I connect to really deeply. And then also music too. Like, I grew up doing choirs, whether it was in church or schools or going to competitions. Like, I don't even know how young I was, but as for as long as I can remember, I've been singing and dancing. And so dance and music, they'll always be a tool that I use for like stress, a tool that I use for creative block, a tool that I'll use just to kind of like give myself a hug, when I'm not able to honestly like get the support or like resources. It's, yeah, like it's so beautiful, and again, like it just can't be replicated like other art practices can be sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. And I mean, you mentioned how with dance, what you do, like you do freestyle, so you're not worried about it being polished. Like, do you feel like
Hmm.
that's something you try to give as the approach with people who like work with you in terms of like, oh, I'm hoping to get this and that. Like, do you try to let them know that, I want to provide an experience to you where like, listen, I can't say like it's gonna be like perfect to an extent, but
Hmm.
maybe like in the word of like just I want to create something that's like a little bit more raw, but you'll still get something really impactful in that way.
Yeah. Literally, like in class, like I'll tell my students, whether they're the kids or the adult classes I teach, like, this is not, we're not learning this combo, and I'm not teaching this so that we can like have a polished video at the end of class. Like, I might take a video, but not to post. Like, this is for progress, and this is a space that you can like let what I'm saying soak in, whether it soaks in today, whether it soaks in like 2 or 3 months, you know? Like, this is just a space to play and like have fun, and it's progress over perfection. If that makes sense at all. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. You probably kind of answered my next question. So I was like literally gonna ask, how does tapping into these traits allow you to connect with people? Like, was it a work in progress? But I think you understand the fact that like I'm not trying to make this like super perfect and profound. I mean, it's just more of like, we're gonna work it out. If this kind of goes one way,
Yeah.
then that's fine. Chanel saying I'm a freestyle maestro.
I
I don't
believe
know.
that.
On the mic, definitely not with the dancing. That's out of my
We're gonna
ballpark.
get you there, Sean. We will. I
Oh,
believe in us.
okay
Yeah.
then. All right.
Oh, I do
Alri
want to add to that question though.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
did answer most of it, but I also want to say that um you can also like do that behind closed doors, but I think it's also really beautiful when you kind of bring that to the light, because you also meet people that you would have never met. Like, I one day, like, I couldn't dance, it was cold, I didn't want to go on walks, and I was like, I reached out to a friend in the city, and I was like, hey, I know you do singing lessons, like, could I pay you, could we do some singing lessons? She was like, girl, just come to choir practice with me. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, I run a gospel choir. Like, we're not Christian, but we just love gospel, and we get together and sing in community. And I went to a couple, and it was just kind of like I met so many people there that now I talk to. Some have actually been videographers on some of my films, like some of my first films that I've ever produced. And yeah, and that was like 2 years like down the line later. So you never know like what friends or like networking opportunities or just like beautiful people and souls you'll end up meeting when you also like put that out there. And now I have friends, and we just go over to each other's house, and we literally play the piano and the guitar and sing. And some we literally just go on walks, and we just like embrace nature together. And some of us we literally just like dance, whether it's for fun or professional. and we literally have the best time. And you never know, like, until you like put it out there. But that art has connected me with so many people, some that are literally my best friends today. So I just wanted to add
Yeah.
that.
I love that. I think like there's two things I took from that. Like number one, like networking is definitely important because you never know which room you're gonna be in with the right amount of people, and that could be like your next business partner, your next person that you just collab with. And I think collaboration over competition is something that we need to start implementing more. I understand you want us,
Yeah.
yeah, like I get you want to make money. Again, I'm trying to make money. Like don't get me wrong, I'm trying to get to the bag, but I understand that like it's better to grow with people than try to go against
Yeah.
them, you know? Like,
Hmm.
we're all trying to get to the same point. So it's like, why can we not help each other? So I mean, that's one thing I
Yeah.
took away from that. I think the second part of it is just like, and maybe this might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like when it comes to like people who are artists and musicians, I feel like they find a better way of like having a good group of friends that they could just chill
Mm,
on the side. Again, maybe this is just for me speaking as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of people I rock with, but I
yeah.
don't have a lot of people that's like, "Hey, let's just go out and just chill." Like, I
Yeah.
really don't have a lot of people like that. And the people I do, they kind of are the photographers and videographers. They
Hmm.
are the artists. So it's like, I wish I could just get someone that's like does something similar to what I do or still within that
Yeah.
business realm. Be like, you know what? I don't know if you're busy. Let's go for a drink. Let's go chill
Yeah.
and something like
Literally.
that. Because I think we all need that because again, as we're working and we're looking to build towards our goals, we definitely need some time to just like chill and just like take in everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think too, artists, we I feel like this is like such a world where everything becomes transactional, you know? Like, let's be friends with this person because they could do this, or like, please can you invite me to this event because I know this person will be there. Like, and so I think as artists too, like we're artists, we're entrepreneurs, but behind that, we're human beings. And our art, first and foremost, whether it's for money or not, it always starts from what's in here. And like what's behind all of the like facade and all the masking of like, now I'm in an entrepreneurial space, let me be an entrepreneur, you know? Like, it starts from this like emotion that you evoke, which for
Mm,
me, that's a lot of the photography that I do. And so I think when it comes down to it, it's like it's not necessarily like we can see quicker of like, oh, this is a room for transaction, this is a room for networking. No, no. But when it comes down to the bare bones, we're like, okay, this is a room that's either fostering community or not. And not every room is supposed to foster community. Some rooms are just strictly supposed to be networking. Some rooms are strictly supposed to be for the entrepreneurs, for the girls, for the guys. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, real recognizes real. And I think being so in touch with this like emotion and this like other sense that you kind of have to tap into if you want your art to be authentic. And also, your art will translate in the entrepreneurial world when you are more authentic to you and your art and your brand. And I think so when it comes down to it in like bare bones, it's like, okay, I'm here for community. Are you here for community? I see you. You see me. Let's hang. And like a vibe. Even if I never see this person again and that's happened, we have like left our hearts in our conversation for that night. And like when I see you again in a year, maybe we're gonna pick up right where we left off, you know? Because it's like, yes, there's community, and sure, like you might be a videographer, and like we might collab in the future, and that's cool. But that's never like the first intention. Whereas like other rooms, it's like, hey, first and foremost, how can we like use this as a networking or entrepreneurial opportunity? And then also, if you're a great person, that's cool too.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, it's funny that we're talking about like that networking side of things because it kind of goes into my next question. But again, for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with our guest Shanique. We've had a great conversation about just her personal journey, her company, the Candid Creative, and we're going a little bit more deeper into the networking side of things because, like I mentioned before, for you being a full time dancer, being an artist, a multidisciplinary artist, but also an entrepreneur in some aspect, like what do you think it means to have so much titles kind of to your name, but also do you try to like find a community of people who kind of operate on the same wavelength as you, or is it more of like just like again you kind of go out, you meet people, and like from there it's
Mhm.
just kind of more authentic? Like, is there honestly like that approach alone, or do you try to like I guess maybe be more intentional, or like okay maybe I need to go to these certain events, maybe I need to connect with certain people I see online on social media or everything like that. Like, so first off,
Yeah.
just to like, it is kind of a two-part question. So first off, what does it mean to have, I guess, so much titles to your name? And again, maybe you could even correct me if you don't believe
Mhm.
in like in all that stuff like that. But also, how is like your approach to meeting people? Do you try to be a little intentional in terms of what work you do, or is it more authentic?
Yeah. First of all, just to answer the second one really quickly, actually, I personally feel like I try to be intentional in every room that I'm in. Because I follow this church in Tulsa, and they say like one of their pillars is to be hot, but it's an acronym for humble, open, and transparent. And truly, 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 like, it's not that you'll never attract the wrong people when you're like humble, open, and transparent, but you'll never attract the right people if you're not, you know? And if you're like creating this new version of yourself in every room that you enter, like, you're never gonna find your people, whether that's for networking or like community wise, because the version of you keeps changing. And I'm a little dramatic sometimes, but no one can say that like when they have talked to me, it wasn't the most like intentional and authentic version of me. That's like one thing for sure, and then to add to that too, I feel like having all these titles is a weird kind of dynamic, because it's like weird. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I am a founder, like I am an artist and director and producer, like, but I think people attach like your identity, your preference, and then your skill into like one category, and it's really not. Like, I am who I am, that's my identity, and then my skill is like all of these things that I do, and I'm so grateful that am able to attach these things to my name. And like my inner child is like, oh, this is the me that I've like grown up to be and like always dreamed of becoming, and that's super cool. But they're not interchangeable, like they're not the same thing. And so yeah, like, it's those names and titles get me into more of like my dream roles and my dream jobs, and I'm always going to be grateful for that. But at the end of the day, if you like strip all of that away, like, I'm just Shanique. I'm just like Nikki to my close friends, and my family. And I think you also like need to have that sense of self first before you walk into any room, especially where like you are your brand, because you will lose yourself so quickly. Um, yeah, and have that like self awareness and presence of like what you not only like want to bring to the room, but what you want to take home with you and what you want to like leave at the door and like brush off too, because it's so easy to blur those lines. And I feel like we kind of created a culture with like it's okay to blur those lines, and almost you get like rewarded for it. So yeah, grateful to have these titles because they get me closer to like the life that I want to be living. And the life that I want to have is a life surrounded by art and nature, and I'm slowly getting closer to that goal every day. But like also highlighting that like I'm also Shanique, and when I show up to rooms, yeah, like other people might identify me by my skills and my titles, but I'm Shanique and I'll introduce myself as that first.
Guys, I literally have nothing else to say. I feel like you said everything. I feel I should just like end the conversation, just walk off, be like, all right, guys, thank you for tuning in. And I mean, yeah, I agree with everything you said 100%, especially the sense of self. When you understand like who you are, I feel it becomes much easier to then tell people like, just like,
Mhm.
okay, this is who I am. When you understand, you can tell it to other people. Because again,
Yeah.
the titles, like when people see me, like, oh, like, he's a podcaster, or like, oh, he's a talk show host, so a media personality. But like in the end of the day, like I'm just Sean. Like I'm really just
Mhm.
I'm a fun loving guy, and like I'm someone who honestly
Yeah.
likes to I like to see people win. I like to support people. That's always been like my style. I never really fake the funk or just try to like do
Yeah.
something completely different. That's just not me. Like that's what I would tell
Yeah.
people. If you want to get to know me, it's like I'm like I'm just me. I'm just me. I'm not perfect, and I don't tend to be perfect. I'm gonna have my flaws, but I'm just me again. I really have nothing else to say, ladies and gentlemen. She
Yeah.
took the words out of me for real.
No, it's taken me a lot to get here, and, like, I know that I'm young as well, and, like, those lessons will continue to stack up, but, in my few years of being on this planet and being in these spaces, like, I think everyone focuses on, like, what you like, know what you wanna do and know what your goals are, but I actually argue, like, know actually what you don't wanna do. Know where your line is, know where your no is and where you're not this I'm not compromising this for anyone and anything. Because when you know those, that's when I think you can like take your power and like walk into the room and no one can touch you.
Yeah, and I see the little heart from Peterland. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of love in the room. That's what I like. There's a lot of love in this
Grateful.
conversation. So, I love that. Again, I have nothing else to say. So I'll just go on to the next question. I want you to describe the toughest challenge you had to overcome and how it relates to your creativity and expression that
Yeah.
you exude right now, even within your work or even without your work in mind.
For me personally, right now, it's been just like what is the word? I guess navigating and like juggling being an artist and being an arts administrator, especially when it comes to your own work. I think if you're going to take your art into any mainstream space and money gets involved, you're automatically your own like entrepreneur and you're automatically your own arts administrator, whether that's not a title that you like walk into other rooms with. And honestly, they just use such different parts of my brain, and so when it's like, okay, I need to do all this art admin and then I don't know, like edit a whole album immediately after, it's like flipping that off and on and like going back and forth. That's been extremely challenging for me, especially this summer. And I like part of it was probably just because I was doing so many things and a lot of them were really art like focused. Um and I wanted to just like put myself in my art because I feel like the summer is when I let myself do that. Yeah, so it's been really challenging. I feel it's a different kind of creativity when you're an arts administrator versus when you're just the artist and creating. It's also a different process when you have to figure out, you know, what your painting is going to look like, what this film is going to look like, what are the small details that people probably won't pick up on the first time they watch it, but it's excruciatingly like extremely important that this clip on 444 is here and not on 446, like, and then switching back to your Excel sheets and then being like, okay, let's fill this out. So I'm definitely still navigating that. If anyone wants to send me some tips, link your girl, please, please. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I can imagine. And honestly, I think it kind of brings up like that work-life balance. How do you
Mhm.
try to like live your life, but also, get stuff done? You got to make sure that, you're getting stuff done. And I feel like that work-life balance adds even more difficulty when it's your own personal work. It'd be different if it's like, I work a job, but like it's not what I do, like maybe for a living, or maybe like it's
Yeah.
not like my side hustle. But when that one thing that you're passionate about is your work, it becomes like even more
Yeah.
intensifying because it's like, dang, like I want to switch off and like, okay, just relax, but
Yeah.
it's like I'm so deep in it. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I have to tell myself, like, look, Sean, like you can't be working on the safe room 24/7. You gotta learn when to take a
Mhm.
break and just kind of like take a breather. So I mean, I totally understand. I think it's important for people listening too, especially for any entrepreneurs or business owners listening to this conversation, is that like we are working on having the best work life balance. And I think
Yeah.
the whole point of
Constantly.
it, I think it's realization, understanding that like we need to understand that yes, we want to build, but we always
Mhm.
need to make sure to put ourselves first. Like the mental health
Yeah.
aspect, I could see a lot, especially in this generation. Like we're taking lots of care for ourselves. And I mean,
Mhm.
again, I'm not sharing this to tell you guys what to do. Like I'm just trying to speak from my personal perspective. I hope you guys maybe resonate on some aspect on it. But I understand that what I'm doing is not going to be like an overnight sensation. It's going to take time. And as long as I understand that and not
Mm.
trying to like push to that goal, there's nothing wrong if I go a day, heck, even a week out without doing something. If I can tell myself, you know what, let me take a break. But if I can work on something for at least maybe an hour, I'm
Yeah.
content. I'm
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I saw Chanel's comments on here. I want to
Yeah,
finish
that
my
was a
thought.
good one.
Yes, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. I
Yeah.
mean, see, Chanel dropping bars
Dropping bars.
on the show. I mean, yeah, like for like that. I think that's really important. I think for a lot of us, we always go through that. We go through that depression at some point. We're like, dang, bro, like when am I gonna see like
Mhm.
my benefits? Like, what's going on? I guarantee you, there's lots of things that I keep to myself that I don't want to share with people. That like goals I have, but it's like
Mhm.
I understand again. I can't be so strung on, these things. I have to just live life, and like again, there's
Yeah.
things that happen that don't like you don't expect. Again, like me being here on this platform, that was not never the plan. And I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that. I'm so grateful to have something like Love Bay Radio where I can have these conversations with you guys, the fantastic team here at Love Bay Radio. Shout out to TYB, Janice, every single one of y'all. I'm giving y'all love right now on the show. But I mean, I think you have to understand that again, with the work-life balance, it's not just about like, oh, I can do work and life equally. I think it's more of like
Mm.
yourself and how you can understand both sides of the spectrum and then
Yeah.
come to like an equilibrium, a middle piece.
Yeah. That was a bar. Yeah. Get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guys, like, listen, I'm not a rapper. I don't spit bars, but listen, I'm an MC when I want to. If I just give me a little beat, just
Mhm. Some respect on his name. Thank
it's
you.
like shit I mentioned before. I'm a freestyle maestro. So on the mic, I'm a freestyle maestro.
On the MIC. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So Shanique, I want to do a little quick thing. I want to do a little role play session. So what I like to do here is like with any guest I have, I want to do a little role play, and it's basically I'm the client. I'm someone who's coming to you for your
Okay.
services. I'm asking you just like, oh, like I want to do this and that. All right. So
Okay.
we're gonna see how your acting skills are. I
I'm
doubt that they're
scared.
anything but subpar. They're gonna probably be like at the amazing level. So all
Okay, let
right.
me stretch.
Don't
Ugh.
even worry. Just like yeah, if you gotta get up and stretch it out, just like, all right, guys, hold on. Let me warm up.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. So don't worry. Like I don't exist. Sean Williams for the next couple minutes does not exist. It's not
Where'd
all
he
right.
go?
I
Where'd he
all
go?
right. See, she's already she's getting ahead of it. Okay, let's get right into it. All right. Hey Shanique. My name is David. I saw you on IG and like I was very interested about some of the work that you're doing. I heard you do like photography, a little bit of
Mhm.
like event work as well. So like I'm definitely interested to know a little bit more. Just to give a little context, I have this huge like festival, this dance festival coming up in the next month or so, and I need someone to just do some video work. I mean, maybe you can go a little bit more into detail and just like what you do, what you offer, perhaps.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for reaching out, David. It's so nice to meet you. I primarily do photography, performance or choreography, but my photography style more so takes moments of candidness and moments that evoke strong emotion. So I like to capture events and festivals and performances almost like as a gallery that tells a story. So the photos in the gallery will mostly look like portraiture, group shots, and they will all kind of create like a cohesive story of the event and also something to look back on as like a little documented time capsule as well. So if that's something that you're interested, we can absolutely hop on a call and we can talk more about it.
Okay, that sounds good. It's funny that you mentioned like having a theme, and how you operate. So like we are kind of working on the theme. I think right now we're kind of want to do something a little bit more classical, just kind of like give a
Okay.
little bit of that, bring the old into the new school, type of vibe.
Okay.
So I
No, I
mean,
love that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, do you think
Yes.
that's something that would work well in terms of because again, I know you kind of explained it a bit, but is that something that I guess works well to what you do? Because again, I don't know much about just how to
Yeah.
plan something like this. My first time doing a dance festival, so I just want to make sure that I'm not fumbling on my end.
For sure. No, absolutely. That sounds like something that I would love to hop behind, and your vision and mission for this sounds amazing. So, no, I would absolutely love to back up what you're doing. It's also just so important to have almost like, again, like just something to document what you've done, and also something for the artists to have as well. So if you're looking for specific shots and specific little moments, we'll definitely add that, but we will go through everything. We'll create a plan a couple weeks before. We will check in consistently, and we'll check in before the event starts as well. So just to make sure that the vision is everything that you're getting. I love to kind of mix in both the like professional mainstream shots, the performance shots, and then like photos of the audience just randomly, and like what's going on kind of behind the scenes, to just give a little insight as well to what the staff is doing and what the volunteers are up to as well. So again, like we will make this beautiful masterpiece of a collage that will highlight both the big and the small moments of the festival.
All right, I like that. So, do you usually kind of work where some of your services are in packages? Is it by the hour, perhaps?
Yeah, so I mostly will do a sliding scale depending on what kind of organization you run, whether you're a non for profit, maybe you're a school or community volunteer led organization, or if you're more corporate. So we can absolutely talk about packages. Depending on the event, I'll either do hourly or I'll just do for the day, whether it's half day or full day. So again, we can absolutely go into more detail. I think sometimes we'll hop on a call and people will kind of hear what I'm saying and hear what how the day will go, what equipment might be needed, and then they'll realize, oh, I actually don't need you for the full day. I just need you for the first 2 hours, or vice versa. I actually don't think I'll need you for the first 2 hours. I'd love to do the half day 4 hours if that's okay with you. So I like to keep it pretty flexible, just because I do also do art as well as photography. And so a lot of the scenarios are interchangeable. I also understand budgets are hard, especially if you're non for profit. So I like to kind of just like see what you need, and then we can talk about what I can offer to like get you to that goal.
Okay, I think this is good. This is really good for me. So, yeah, I would love to kind of schedule a call and talk things through. Do you have like a website or anything I could use to like fill
Yes.
out?
Yeah, so both my website and my Instagram is thecandidcreative.co. Just simply put.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. All right, thank you so much, Shanique.
you're very welcome.
All right, scene. See, like I told you, you were a pro.
Did
You
I
were a
do
pro.
it? Oh my god,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
nervous. It was David. Oh my goodness. Where'd you
Yeah,
come
yeah.
from?
I mean, every week it's like a new name. I forgot. I forgot what I was last time. I mean, it's always a new name. Just kind of just
Okay,
comes
one
random,
week, can you be Alejandro? Can you be
Oh
that?
wow.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel like I need to see that happen before the year is over. I just fear that people need to thank you, David and Shanique. You know, you're welcome. We do
Oh
what we
my
do.
gosh.
Next week
Yes.
you'll meet Alejandro. Yeah, tune in. Tune into the safe
Yes.
room.
Seeing some of the other comments, so true, Sean. Growing with each other rather than against each other is very important. Yes, 100%. Okay. Well, I hope you guys got to know a little bit more through Shanique in terms of like the approach, how she will be interacting with you when it comes to her company. But
Mhm.
before we wrap things up, I have a little fun activity that I want to try out. Okay. So I mean, y'all already know the deal. Every time I try these activities, they're very random. They're last minute. And sometimes it's like you don't know what's gonna happen.
No, I love
So
that.
yeah, I try to like mix it up a little bit. So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I
Okay.
am thinking of a musician. Okay, since we were talking about
Okay.
music a little bit, I'm thinking about
Okay.
a musician. You need to figure out what musician I'm thinking of,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
So the thing is, You can list the musician, say a name,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna give you a percentage. Okay. So let's say, for
Oh,
example, let's say you say Drake, right? And I say
okay.
20%. What that means is that you're off the mark. You're 20%, like,
Oh, okay, okay. I'm
the point
20%
is,
off the mark.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're off the mark. You're trying to get as close to 100, which 100 is actually, the person I'm thinking of, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So like 20% so 20% would be
Like
like
you're
I'm really cold. And then
yeah,
80% would be like
you're
I'm getting warmer.
yeah, it's like you're hot.
Okay. Okay.
I can say cold or 20%. I would do percentage because like it's easier because like
I
I don't
think,
want
yeah,
to
I
be like
need to see the percentage because we can't measure how hot this tea is. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm seeing Chanel saying, "Am I allowed to guess?" Guess in your head, okay? Don't give out no answers. All right.
Text me, Chanel.
No, don't say nothing. All right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So okay. I'm gonna make it simple. So
Okay.
Shanique, what celebrity am I thinking of, or musician am I thinking
The
of?
way that I actually wanted to just start screaming out names before you said any clues, that's crazy. That's
No,
so
I mean
crazy.
that's the whole point. I mean, like like you're just I'm gonna say it, and then like the clues will be if like are you getting warmer, or are you getting
Okay.
hotter?
Okay. See, what I want to say is like I want to go for the girls and the G's, all the G's. I want to say like Sabrina Carpenter or like Chappell
Oh,
Roan. That's
all
what
right.
I. That's the route I'm going.
Are you starting with Sabrina Carpenter?
I am.
All right, let's see. I'm not gonna lie, about 90%. You're
Oh,
close already. You're
okay.
close
Is
already.
she in? Wait, is she, he, or they in the pop world?
I
Would you
can't
say?
confirm or deny. I
Oh my
mean,
god.
you're just gonna
Okay.
have to go. I said 90, so you're gonna have to go with.
Sabrina Carpenter. Who has she performed with recently? Taylor Swift?
Oh, 94,
No,
94. You
94. So what I'm hearing is they might be blonde.
I mean,
Let
I
me
can't
see.
confirm or
I'm gonna
deny
look for
that.
a smirk. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go with Chappelle Roan then, just because. Let's not leave her out. Let's see.
You're a little bit lower. You're maybe like
I'm
at
a lower.
78. You're at 78, probably.
Okay. Olivia Rodrigo.
Hmm.
The pop.
Yeah, maybe like a
Mm,
76.
oh no! I
You're
started strong.
you started strong.
Okay. Okay.
And listen,
Okay.
anyone in the
Pop.
comment section, don't come after me if you question my percentages. It's just for me, okay? So
This is just for Shon. I don't. This is a safe space. This is a safe room. Okay. Thank you.
I love Bay how they're
Okay.
commenting, asking,
Sabrina Carpenter. Hmm. Renee Rapp.
No, now you're getting further. You're actually
No.
you're getting that's like maybe like 69 or something.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter. She's feeling like a strong answer. I fear it won't get stronger.
You gotta think. I mean, you said Sabrina Carpenter, then you said Taylor. I said higher. I said to 94%
You
for
said
Taylor. So
higher for Taylor,
yeah, I
but
did.
Taylor,
I
my
see
girl T Swift, Miss
Beyonce.
Tay Tay,
I see
she's doing her
Beyonce
own
here, and
thing.
it's not Beyonce.
Technically, Beyonce is in the pop category.
I tell you right now, she's
Technically.
not closer either. So
Oh my goodness. I feel like Olivia is like also one of Taylor's kids at this point, too.
mm,
Okay. I feel like she has to be blonde now. There's no other name coming into my head.
there's nothing.
Who's blonde right now? I'm like,
Maybe, you
mm,
know what? Don't try to overthink it. Maybe just list out some names and like
okay.
maybe
What about Mrs. AG? Mrs. Area? The pressure is getting what's up? Okay. Let's say Ariana Grande. Let's
it is
say.
Ariana Grande. It's Ariana Grande.
Oh my god! Wow. I'd like to thank my mom for giving birth to me. I'd like to thank Chanel for, I don't know, just for being present and for encouraging me. I'd like to thank my sister for these headphones.
I mean,
Thank you.
like, guys, I think when I said just don't overthink it, I mean she's like, all
Mhm.
right, I'm just going with it. I'm going with
I'm
my
just
gut.
going with it because Ariana, she doesn't overthink anything. She just is. Ariana just be that girl sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I like that. All right. All right.
I
Let's
relate
try
to her.
let's try something different. Let's try another
Mhm.
round, okay? All right.
Okay.
All right. I do appreciate Love Bay actually competing in the comment section with saying
No, me too.
Beyonce.
Because I was thinking Beyonce, but I was like, no.
That if I said Beyonce, that would have been like a 50 in the 50 range, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. This one's not gonna be this one's not gonna be easier though. It's gonna be a little bit
Okay.
tougher. Okay. So what musician am I thinking of? Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like, can I know if it's a girl or a boy? Can I know that?
All right. I will say it is a male artist.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Let me just say Kendrick Lamar. Let's just start there.
Okay, Kendrick. 78. 78.
78? I have to say Drake next. I have to.
Nah, Drake, you're like at the 40s now.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Kendrick Lamar. What about Ye?
Kanye?
Yeah.
Like 62.
62. Who's giving Kendrick energy? I fear no one. What's his name? Hold on. What about Childish Gambino? Rest in peace.
I don't think he's dead.
No, but I
I
feel like the alter ego is gonna die
Well, I
soon.
mean,
I feel
he
like,
did drop an
did
album
he?
this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
Okay,
that
okay.
happened.
Childish Gambino, 89.
Okay. Okay. Um, Childish Gambino.
No, Chanel, it's not Sean Williams. Stop playing. Like
You know what? Big Sean. Let's say that.
Big
Let's
Sean,
go for it. Yeah.
20.
Because my next two are Notorious B.I.G. Tupac
No, okay, then
and
you're
then
like at
Eminem.
you're like
Yeah.
5% with the
I just feel like they need to be included in the conversation. You know? I
I
just feel like,
appreciate that.
yeah. I fear Childish Gambino. Who else is,
Yes.
because it feels like an insult to say like what's his name, Travis Scott or like ASAP after Childish Gambino. It just feels wrong to
I
me.
mean, again, don't overthink it.
You didn't confirm nor deny,
Nah, I didn't confirm or
Mr.
deny, so
SW. Let's go with ASAP because we stand
ASAP.
a king. Yeah.
It's like 70%.
Wow. Wow. Is this in the rapper family? Is this in the hip hop and rap family?
I don't know.
Because
You
I'm
tell
about
me.
to jump bridges here. You know what I'm saying? And I
you
need
you
to know.
you tell me. You tell me.
I want to say Troy Sivan, but that'd be crazy. I think that'd be a 5 for you.
That would be like. I mean, again, I
Yeah.
mean, what are you going with? Is Troy Sivan your answer? Or?
Yes, it is. It is, I
Okay,
fear.
then it's like probably a 0. Actually, it's a 0. It's
We stand you though. We do. Okay. So basically, Childish Gambino or ASAP is the closest to this person. And we
yeah.
don't know if he's old school, new school,
I'm seeing
West
Chanel
Coast,
saying
East
Rascal
Coast.
Flats. What are we? Rascal Flats?
I'm gonna
0.
say, because I was gonna say that for you, Chanel, just in
No.
case. What about what is this man's name? The way that I can remember your face from like 2003 and I would not remember your name is crazy. No. No, I actually lost it. I actually don't remember this man's name at all. Yeah. That's unfortunate for him. What
Oh
about
boy.
Busta Rhymes?
0. You're like you are going far back now.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right, you know what? I feel like I don't want to like have this go on for like another 30 minutes.
Yeah, I
So
need to know now. I don't think it's gonna get
I
better
I
than Childish
I
Gambino.
I will say this. He's an artist who's making a lot of noise right now. That might be a dead ringer. And Chanel, I don't want you to say the person because I think off of that she probably knows exactly what
Mm,
I'm talking about.
a male. I'm assuming rap artist. Is that
Again, I can't
we
really.
can't confirm or deny?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mm, in 2020. Oh, it's 2024. It's not
No, it's
2025. I
not
actually
CB,
lied.
Chanel. CB, that's like
What
maybe.
about? Because I want to go all the way back, but I know you're gonna be like, no, that's not. That's not it. What about? This is so embarrassing. What about Future?
Like a 66.
Oh my god. What about
Sh-
Snoop Dogg? Love that
Snoop.
man.
It's like you're in like
He's
13%.
everywhere.
You're
I feel like
13.
he'll never not be relevant. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Shino's asking, can I give a hint? No. The whole point of the game is that like you
I
can
think
give.
you should give a hit. What about Tyler the Creator?
It's Tyler the Creator. There we
Is it actually?
go. Yes, because I was like, he just dropped his album this past Monday, Chromacopia.
Dang. Wow. And I really thought him earlier, and I was like, no.
I
I was
said
like,
Childish
no.
Gambino because like he was
Yeah,
on
he
Yaba.
actually gives Tyler the Creator energy, and I don't
I
know why.
Yeah. If you said
Yeah.
like Frank Ocean, it would have been like really close too. Cause like
And you know what? He wasn't on my radar because I feel like Frank lives in his own time zone and era. He
yeah.
just happens to be in our timeline as well. You know
And,
what
and
I'm
and
saying?
listen, for everyone who listen, I know you're probably gonna come after me when it's like, Shon, is it ASAP and Tyler? Yes, but I didn't want to focus on the friendship alone. I was looking at the music, okay? Because
We're
ASAP
here for
and
the
Tyler,
culture.
they are close, they are friends, but I didn't want to just be
Facts.
like be off of that. So
And I respect that. I do.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see Chanel saying Frank is truly
Mhm.
chilling in the ocean.
He is. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like he's not in any category. He's in his own category. He's in his own lane. And when he wants to come out, he'll pop out.
I
And when
mean,
he
like
doesn't, you better leave him alone. Really.
we'll have to see it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for all my questions and everything like that. So Shanique, again, I just want to say thank you for coming on the safe room. You were awesome to have. Really loved having your high energy, everything like that, your words of wisdom. It was fantastic. So yeah, again,
Thank
thank you
you.
for coming on the safe room.
Thank you for having me. I feel like we've been literally talking about this for like 2 or 3 years. So it's so
Yeah.
cool that it's like finally come to fruition.
Definitely, absolutely. Where can people find you or contact you on social
Yes.
media?
So I'm mostly active on Instagram. You can find me at my personal page, which is my name, Shanique, SHANIQUE_PEART. That's more like personal life and like I guess my little online diary. And then my brand photography is thecandidcreative.co. So CandidCreative.co, and that's also my website, thecandidcreative.co.
All right, perfect. Again, thank you to Shanique for coming on, and thank you for everyone listening to the Safe Room this week on Love Bay Radio. You can check us out at the Safe Room Official on Instagram. If you want to go to my personal page, the president of TO for Toronto. You could also check me out on my YouTube channel. We're looking to get. We're not even looking. We are putting out content. I know usually, guys, I would say you'd be
Yeah,
like, it's on the way. Now we're actually putting out content. We're right now
he's
dropping all
official.
our. Yeah, I'm official now. We're now dropping all our interviews from the Black Friday trade show event that I went to earlier September. So you definitely want to check those out. We're looking to put out some more content soon. And yeah, I mean, again, head to our website, thesaferoom.ca. If you're someone who's an entrepreneur who's looking to develop a business plan, we're offering a new service that is a video business plan where it's sort of a precursor allowing you to talk about your business model in video format. So it's 30 minutes that we're offering to you. It's going to be one of your best experience that you could possibly have. So definitely, if you want to reserve your spot, head over to our website. It's right on our homepage. And again, until then, you guys tune in next week to your favorite show here on Love Bay Radio. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.